From the Big House to the Penthouse podcast, stories of addiction and recovery. The lie is dead. We do recover.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Happening?
Welcome back to another episode of From the Big House to the Penthouse, stories of addiction and recovery. As always, your host is Ricky Cruz.
And my co-host, Raul Moreno. You know what, hey, man, you know what my daughter said today, Ricky? She says, Dad, you know what? I learned 3 things today in high school. And I mean, in college, she told me one thing. The second was, I learned how to roll my R's.
Barely?
Yeah, barely. Yeah, I guess like a Mexican, I guess. She didn't know how to roll her eyes. Roll her R's.
That's too funny.
Like for Raul Moreno.
Man, what you been doing, man?
Man,
how was your week?
Man, dude, I tell you what, man, I took Monday off.
Oh, yeah.
I took Monday. Yeah, we went walking on those tunnels. Man, we went walking on the. We've been wanting to walk down those tunnels and in downtown.
It's shopping,
They're pretty
right?
shopping.
Okay.
But dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Lisa was making fun of me because it's just in a spur moment, man. We decided. I said, you know what, man? Let's go to the tunnels. Let's. I think Gordo over here next to me. I think he's got it, man. Him and the new guy. I think they can handle it. And they did, man. They're doing a fine job. So I called and said, man, we're gonna be in around noon. And we went to the those tunnels downtown underneath, and man, I felt silly because when I went down there, I would hear people talking about those tunnels that they connect, the bunch of shit downstairs underneath underneath downtown.
Yeah.
And I was expecting that. They said, well, when it floods, that they got these trap doors, these doors that close. I was thinking it was gonna be like those underground deals in New York.
Like a big old.
Well, it looks brick and it looks ugly and it's dark and there's water running like in the movies.
Right.
I was thinking to see that, man, and it
was
no,
like
man. It was like a mall down there.
Dang.
It was crazy because Lisa's like, "What, idiot?" She was, "You thought you were like gonna go in the back cave or something?"
I've never been down there, man.
It was pretty cool. There was a lot of shopping, a lot of cool food, restaurants,
expensive shopping.
I don't know. We didn't do a lot of shopping, but it was. But we went real early. So a lot of the shops weren't open yet.
Man,
that's what I did.
Tell the people the story and how you decided you wanted the day off.
How I decided?
You got a phone call when y'all were at the mall. I mean, upstairs at the apartment.
I got a phone call. Did I tell you that or what?
No, you wrote it. Lisa wrote it on Facebook.
She did. What did she say?
She said that she called and said,
"Oh yeah, I was laying. Yeah, I was in the bed, man. I was playing on thinking about what we're gonna do to get ready to go." And I was like, "Hey, man, you want to take?" She called and she says, she's in the living room. She's like, "Hey, I don't think I'm gonna make it to work today. I don't feel so good, man." I'm like, "Get the hell out of here, man." And it's like, but yeah, it was cool, man. We ended up, we didn't come into work till like 4:00, 4:30, I think.
Man, y'all didn't come into work.
We did. We did. We came. Well, yeah, we went straight, and then we went and watched Ozark.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But yeah, man, what'd you do?
I went to a crawfish thing.
You did?
That they had at the VFW, but I think that's it, man.
This weekend?
Yeah. Because my girls were busy, so I just stayed to myself.
Yeah.
Just chilled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
man. Well, that's all right, man. We need to do something, man, one weekend.
Man,
we
keep talking about it.
I know, but we never do it, man. We need to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, man. We've got our special guest here, man. He's over there being quiet. He's acting all shy and stuff, man. He's here to this, as y'all know, man. This is Ernesto Morales. He's here to finish the second part of his show, man, or the second part of his of his story. I don't know. Maybe it might even turn into a 3-part. I don't know. See how much we can crawl through. Introduce yourself. This is Ernesto. Ernesto, what is your clean day, by the way? Will you share that with us? What's your clean date? What is the date that you use, that you identify with your clean date?
Yes, my recovery date is 7/17/20.
7/17 of 20. Now, may I ask you, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you why that date? 7/17 of 2020.
That's when I got released from jail.
Okay, so you're using that as your starting point. Why not before then? Why not? Because I know as far as and I'm sorry if I'm jumping jumping here, but As far as I know, the last time, usually our clean date is the last time we got high, right? The next day that we decided not to use anymore. A lot of people use that date as your clean date. The next day, like some people are like New Year's Eve, man, that was it.
Yeah.
You know, and the New Year's Day they start whatever. Why don't you use the date that of the last time you used drugs? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
My recovery date
Uh-huh.
is July 17th of 2020.
Okay.
The last time I've ever done any drugs is like September 23rd of 2019. Okay, that's the last time I've ever used anything.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. So September of when?
2019.
January. Okay, so it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. You spent 2 months in the hospital?
Almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months. So you used after you got out. I forgot about that. So look. So anyway, we don't want to go too far. Let's pick up. Where did we leave off? Does anybody? Do you remember where we left off?
We were about to start sharing the story of hope, man.
Okay.
But there's questions that I have, and
Okay.
I wanna,
Well, then go for it.
one of the questions is you shared a picture, Ricky,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sure you saw it. You were laid up in the hospital. Now, how did you get to that point? We never shared the story on how he got there, or
And I think we left off before he got to it. I think where we left off, and not to interrupt you,
no.
where we left off is he was sleeping when he got the job at the shop, and he was sleeping on my floor at the shop.
Mhm.
He was sleeping in my office. He was still homeless.
Okay.
And there's a funny story behind that, and I want to share it. I'm going to let Ernesto take off from it, but then I'm going to interrupt him right after that. But where we left off, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but he had I give him a job. He had relapsed. He was supposed to go to he was supposed to go and start going to NA, and he had to stay clean from all mind altering substances, including alcohol. And that was the bet. I said, you're off of this and you're out, man. You know what I mean? So, and then he, I think he told us a story of when he actually coerced if that's the word I'm looking for, his coworker, right? Into getting drunk afterwards. That's where you left us. So pick up where you left off, Ernesto, right there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So the guy didn't convince him. He convinced your coworker. So pick up where you left off on that, if you can.
Yeah, so from I met you about 8 years ago, and in between that and 2018, whatever those dates are, I've struggled. Yes, I would get some clean time. I would go to NA, I would get some clean time, and then in my head, I would think, I'll be all right, and I deserve to have a drink or to do this or do that, and I would mess up. I would keep messing up. Those are the times that I would go overboard, and not at first, but then I would start using. And
well, wait a minute. Let me interrupt you. What are you talking about? I'm talking about. Are you keeping the timeline of when you were living at the shop, or what are you referring to? This time that you're talking about. What time frame are you talking about?
2018 is whenever I messed up.
No. What I'm talking about is because I want to bring you back. I want to bring the audience back to where you were living where you were living in the office. You remember that? You're living in the office, and then you relapsed. You were messed up, man, and it was really cold, man. He was messed up, thrown off on the floor. I mean, he was passed out, and I was so worried about it. I went and got him some blankets and covered him up, and then the heater and all this stuff that the car I had hauled to the shop, because he ditched it. And then next day, I don't remember. A lot of my memory has rebooted, man, and I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember going, I didn't know what I was going to do with this guy. I didn't know if I was going to go ahead and let him go. Do you remember what happened after that? That's what I want you to pick up there, because then there's a little story in between.
We didn't get to talk about that last time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what we left off.
Gotcha,
and I want you to pick up from there. Don't go too far yet.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I met you, and I started working there at the little shop, the first shop. And yes, I had I had bought that car.
Mm-hmm. $100.
Yeah, that.
And then he paid me like in payments.
No. You took it off my check, and I think I had like $25 there, bro. But yeah, so that car, yeah, I had started staying at the little shop, and I started saving my money. I started, working a lot. I worked at the shop, and then I had worked for a temp service unloading trucks at the Walmart on 288. And then one night, yeah, I'd called a guy and or not called a guy. I talked to one of the coworkers and said, "Let's go."
I deserve, man. I've been working hard, man. I deserve a drink, right? Yeah, at that time, now let me stop you right there. At that time, did you think to yourself, "Ah, man, I'm doing good. I've got all this stuff. I shouldn't." Did that cross your mind? We'd like to know, the audience would like to know, that ever crossed your mind? Because you were told by me not to drink, not to do nothing. What was your thinking process? We want to know.
My thinking process was, I'll be all right.
You didn't know that you didn't know the concept, or were you going to hide that from me? We never talked about this. Yeah. Were you going to hide it from me and just, carry on, or what was the deal?
Well, I was just going to try to see if I can, I was just trying to see if I can, I thought it was like we talked about, I thought it was normal.
You thought you were cured.
I was like, man, I'll go have some drinks and, and then it's cool. I'll go to work and just like everybody else does.
Mm-hmm. But no, let me ask you this. How many times did you drink before that happened? Or was that just the first time?
That wasn't the first time.
It wasn't. You had been drinking already. So so it is true what they say, man, that we had a little drink, then we have another one, then hey man, nothing happened, man. We're gonna have, now let's have another Friday, let's have, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then boom, we're back to it's back to losing the car, losing the job, losing the girlfriend, and right? Yeah. So that's the way it was going. I'm gonna tell you a funny story, and this I'm gonna jump in. Ernesto was actually dating my daughter. Okay, I think he had mentioned that earlier. When I hired him, I said, okay, man, listen, there's going to be, you just work hard for me, be honest, don't steal from me, and don't lie to me, and work hard for me, and we're cool, right? So they had a disagreement. They broke up, right? And he was working at a shop, and he was working hard. I'll give him that, man. He was working hard. I was paying him like almost nothing, bro. I think I was giving him like $100 a week. And I was working the shit out of him. I was working the dog shit out of him. Let me tell you that. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to lie, because that's the way I train. Right. So, they had a disagreement. We won't go into details why, but, he comes and calls me to my office. He says, man, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's up, man? He says, well, I just want to let you know that, it's not working out between, Megan, and myself, and, we're going to break up. Right. Well, I said, okay, well, no problem. He says, well, I just, I think he told me something about, I like my job, and, I don't want to lose my job. I said, well, you ain't got a reason to lose it. What did you do? I said, you put your hands on my daughter? And he's like, no. And then he proceeded to tell me, and I said, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's it. He's like, yeah, that's it. I said, we'll get back to work. Go earn those $3 an hour I'm paying you. So I was going to train him to be a mechanic, right? That was the deal. I was going to pay him shit, and then I was going to turn him into a mechanic. So my daughter calls. She says, no. You going to let him go? I was like, no. Why? Oh, but I don't care. I said, look, man, when I hired him, I told you this got nothing to do with nothing, man. That this is between y'all, and I don't want to hear this bullshit, right? That's it. Well, I said, you know what? Click. Hung up on her. So, and then we went on. And so he kept working. And then I don't remember what happened after, because we had to have a talk after you sobered up the next couple of days. Do you remember what happened?
Whenever I woke
after you woke up the next day, what happened? I don't remember.
Yeah, we had I can't exactly remember what happened. I remember going out and drinking
because I gave again.
No.
After that, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm talking about after that morning. What happened? I don't remember.
I think we probably talked about it. I can't remember exactly.
You can't remember?
Yeah. You were, I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, I know almost for a fact that you had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You had nowhere to go. And I was stuck with this dilemma. I was like, man, I was supposed to fire him because I said, you drink it, I'm going to let you go. And I don't think I did. I think I gave you another chance. And you got it together. And I think you put several months together after that.
I think we had went to a meeting that night. And
I took you to a meeting that night.
yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah. And then you took off again from there. And then after that, I don't remember when did you relapse after that or what happened? Take off from them and let you go ahead and take off from there in that story.
Okay, from there, yes, that's when I started. I had gotten a sponsor, but I was never worked the steps. I went from the office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have a mattress or nothing. I was sleeping on the blankets on the plywood floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from there, and then I went to Effie's.
My mom's?
Yeah.
You went, okay. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you that, yeah.
That she has an apartment over there. I stayed over there.
Oh, yeah.
And I had got some clean time, and I was starting to put some time together. I had about maybe 9-10 months, and then I had gotten with this girl, and
Amy, was it? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You want to say her last name too?
We're on a first name basis, man. I mean, fuck it.
yeah, so yeah, and
We're not gonna say her name, Amy.
and I'm good. Just go ahead and talk about it.
Go ahead, man.
Because people
break it down.
If a lot of times people think, they could be with this person, or they'll accept people in their circle they say, well, I'm strong enough that won't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
When people are using or doing things that that you shouldn't, you think, hey, it's all right. When for me it wasn't all right. And I had gotten with her, and she was smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, I hadn't. This is the first time now that I've put over a year clean. If I count my like not using date is it would be like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
From July 17th is a little over a year and a half. But I had gotten with her, and then like we were together, so I was eventually I was like
Let me hit that thing.
yeah, let me hit it.
Talk about the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like a year and a half. You ain't hit it yet. I was like, what's up? Look at that thing, man.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one, man. Come on, Gordo.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it took. I thought I was doing pretty good, and I think I went in thinking that I'll be all right, and eventually I was like, let me have some, and that's when I was working at the shop.
Well, dude, you bought that Cadillac too, and you paid for it. You bought that Cadillac from Mr. What's his face? Remember the green Cadillac? Yeah, you bought that Cadillac. You bought it in payments. You paid it off. Yeah, so you were accomplishing some things, man. Yeah. You had an apartment. So you went. So Ernesto, you came from where you had got kicked out of your apartment, and it was a tragedy. You lost your dad, and it must have been a very, very hard thing for you to experience. Your sister went off one way, you went off the other. Your family completely dissolved, man. You were homeless. And things started looking up, and you took a trip on the road. You fell, and then you said, "Okay, well, I'm going to stop drinking again." And you got your shit together again, and that wasn't enough for you to go, "Man, I'm done with this shit," because you got the Cadillac, that green Cadillac. Well, that was your pride and joy, man. You had an apartment that over there at my mom's house that you were paying your lease there. You're paying this car off. You had your job. You were learning. I'm going to tell you something, man. And like I told you, and I said this last time that when he came in, man, he put some brake pads on for me, put them on inside out. And I'm going to tell you where Ernesto, I saw talent in him. Ernesto's very talented. He really is. He's very talented, man. I'm going to tell you, he's very smart, very talented. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the Sunsets is smart." He really is.
Yeah.
I saw that in him, and so he ended up, whenever he ended up doing big jobs for me. I mean, he got to doing these AC jobs that most mechanics can't do, is removing, on these newer Escalades. With the satellite system, with the navigation system, where you pull the whole dash. I mean, it's a big job, man. Big job. He was doing them. These big AC jobs, and he was knocking them out with no airbag lights, no check engine lights or nothing. He was doing big work, man. And I was like, okay, well, this next step for this cat is to send him to school or to get certified. You know what I mean? And then bam, back down again. So I'm just setting the story, man. I'm setting the of the accomplishments Ernesto was getting when he was clean, the car, the apartment, and then he got the girlfriend, right? That girl, but that was in my eyes, man, that was a mistake. That was one of the big, huge mistakes. And this is something that we in the program of Narcotics Anonymous that we see whenever we have like a member that comes in that their partner is using or drinking, right? And they think that, and some people can do it successfully, but it's not recommended, man, because it won't work.
That's what Jen says right here. She
says
just
won't work.
It never works. Tried hanging around people who were using, and I relapsed too.
And even worse. That's why it's to tell you, man. I'm grateful, man, with Lisa that she doesn't use or drink, man. That's why I put up with a lot of her shit. You know what I mean?
I think it's the other way around.
That way, but mine sounds better, Raul. Raul. Mine sounds better, man. Hey, work with me. So anyway, Ernesto, so you got the car, you got the apartment. You're high on the horse, man. He was going to meetings. There, some of my clients were I was introducing some of my hiring clients. They were knowing this guy. They were, he was the mechanic. He was the lead mechanic at the time, and we were at the little shop, man. Yeah. So for us, we were growing. We were starting to grow, and then we we would transition from there. We transitioned to the other shop. Well, you were there with me, right, when we moved. Yeah. So tell us about that experience up to where we, the Cadillac and all that. I'll jump back off of your story again. I'm just kind of setting the mood, setting the groove for it. Right. Go ahead.
Yes. The Cadillac.
Yeah. You remember that, huh? I remember he wants it back.
Yeah. I want another one.
Yeah.
I want the same exact one.
Yeah.
But yes, I had got the car. I had got the place. I had got a girl. For me, that was, I was doing all right, I feel like I was doing okay. And then, I started slipping. The whole time, working, I was using.
Mm-hmm. You were smoking?
Yeah. Yeah, I was smoking weed.
Did you ever come in high to work?
Yeah.
You did? I couldn't even tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't smell it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm an addict, so like lunch breaks and the whole thing. Yeah, so I never told you that.
I never. Right. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I just whenever I would smoke, and then I thought I can handle it, and me and this, that, like they say, put a year together before you get in a relationship. It's true. It is so true, because I would have problems with this girl, and relationship problems and this and that, and and I never worked no steps. I never dealt with nothing inside me about my dad, about my younger
your younger self.
So I never dealt with none of that like I have today. And so like problems would come up, and then I would go drink, or I'll do this or that, and that's when me and her would have problems a lot. Like
Hey, but dude, but in relationships are problems, man. What you're not telling us something that's different from anybody else, dude. Everybody in a relationship, when it comes to either relationships, we're talking about not just a significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, transvestite, whatever, brother, sister, cousin, relationships, right? I always gotta come up with some bullshit in this, right? But we always there's problems, right? Not just in a relationship. So at the time when you were having these problems, you weren't calling nobody. You were just dealing with them the best way. Ernesto's idea knows best how to deal with them. And your idea, and correct me if I'm wrong, your idea of dealing with them is going after you get pissed off, is walking outside and lighting a doobie and smoking it or having a drink. You were back to your old ways when you used the first time, right?
Yeah.
When you used the first time, you thought it was okay to continue to use, right? But now you have a partner that if something happened, did she ever make you feel like if something went wrong that you could lean on her for support? Did you feel stronger being with her, that nothing could go wrong?
There were times, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Because she did. I'm going to tell you something. The little bit that I knew about it, she did support you.
Yeah.
She was kind of supportive of you, and that would kind of at the times would kind of upset me because you went to jail a couple of times.
Yeah, she had my back. She had my back in some situations.
Yeah. So anyway,
it upsetted you because she was supportive.
She was being what do you call it? And she was enabling. Yeah.
Oh,
and then
okay.
and I would ask him, I was like, dude, are you, because he told me she was using, that she was smoking. I was like, dude, you're being cool, right? He's like, yeah. And he was just like normal. Everything was, so I had no reason. Plus, I mean, quite honestly, Raul, quite honestly, man, at that time, I had lost my dad shortly after that, okay. Right. I lost my dad somewhere around that time frame, and I was very occupied with a lot of things. I was going through my trials and tribulations, man, and a lot of changes in my life. So whatever he was doing, I was just like, hey, okay, whatever. And then I had my own shit going on. You know what I mean? And then things with my with the shop, that things were changing, and then I decided to move. And this guy, so we moved out of the shop. So keep going, Ernesto. Yeah, keep going, because I keep interrupting your story. It's just
No
yeah.
Where was it?
You're having trouble with Amy.
Yeah.
He's got
So
a question
how long were you with this girl?
We were together like about 3 years.
But no shit.
Yeah.
And were you were using most of the 3 years also?
Most of them, yeah. I mean, not like heavily,
Yeah.
weed, yeah, but not until like toward the end, of course, when like most of my problems started happening. I started drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that there, she had 3 little girls,
Mm-hmm.
and I treated those girls like I think I treated them like daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and they looked up to me. And so whenever, not only I would have problems with her, not only like when me and her would break up, it was me. I wasn't only breaking up with her. It was,
You were getting attached to the kids.
it was her and the girls, and that hurt me too. That would hurt me a lot. So in the end, off and on, I was drinking and stuff. But in 2018, whenever one night I was at home, this is when I went from Effie's and I went to behind the shop.
Was my dad still alive when you moved to you didn't to move in my dad's apartment? Was my dad already, had he passed away already, or no?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
So yeah, that's when I was at your dad's house.
You were outside and Jason inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Jimmy Chang.
Yeah. So what was I saying?
You transitioned from my mom's house to my dad's house after my father passed away.
Yeah. And so I was there. I was, smoking and drinking and And that Amy, she had 3 little girls.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't want to be with somebody that wasn't doing right,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which
While she was smoking?
yeah, well she's not an addict.
Yeah.
Some people they can live their lives and I'm me, man. I go all out.
Mm-hmm.
I go all out. If I mess up, I mess up everything.
Well, let me correct you. Let me correct you there, Ernesto. She was, and in my opinion, and who am I? But in my opinion, she was an addict, but she was a functioning addict. Well, she thought she was a functioning addict. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. And this is the experience, just like you're sharing your experience with us. My experience is this. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Any kind of mind altering substance, bro, any kind. I'm going to tell you, be it weed, be it pills, be it alcohol, dude, it robs our time from our children,
It
from
does.
our life, no matter whether we consider an addict or not, whether we don't lose our job, we don't lose this, we don't lose the other. But I'm going to tell you something, man. It affects anything affects the relationship, affects our lives in one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just some of us take off. That's the difference. Some of us get high, and then when we're out of money, we take off for weeks or months or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And some others don't. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to elaborate on that. Go ahead, Ernesto.
Yeah. One night I had the Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually I had bought the Mitsubishi Eclipse. And
Was that her car or was that yours?
you know what? She had got it from me.
That's right. She bought that car for you. That's right. Okay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
She had got it from me.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had that. I had the Cadillac. I had the Mitsubishi Eclipse. And one night, I got off work, and then on the way home from work, I stopped at Citgo and I got a 6-pack, and I already had weed. And so I was at the apartment. I was watching the '70s show,
Mm-hmm.
Smoking weed and drinking, and I thought everything was cool, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go to the bar here. And I went to the bar by myself over there, and I drank and like at the time, like me and that girl were kind of having problems, but not really bad, but I would get in my head.
Mm-hmm.
When I use it, I get in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Like when I drink, like everybody, they start, you see like people, getting their feelings, and I get in my head. I'll start thinking about stuff from my past, and I would, so I drank and that day I had left that bar like when it closed, and I got really cool with the owner of that bar.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and him were like afterwards, we're behind the bar, drinking. They didn't sell liquor, but me and him were drinking liquor.
Oh shit!
Behind the bar, and them and some other people, and till like 5 a.m, like late in the night, and so that's when I went home. After that, I was like, all right, I'm going home, and I had the Eclipse. I was driving to the shop to the apartment, and I turned on my street, and my car started messing up.
Mm-hmm.
My car started messing up, like it was in neutral or something. So I was like, man, today, man, sometimes I think, man, I just should have just turned in and like went inside. But I was trying to mess with it, see what's going on. And I passed up the house. I went to the end of the block and opened the car door, and like I don't, and I blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
The wind hit me, and I blacked out. And the next thing I knew, I was leaning against the back of my Eclipse, and the whole Pearland Police Department was coming down the road.
Uh-huh.
So, and they questioned me saying, "Hey, you're in this guy's house," and I'm like, "What? I'm right here."
Yeah, right here, man.
I wasn't. So, anyways, I had got in trouble. They charged me with burglary.
So you were in this guy's house?
I went. He had a porch. He had an enclosed porch, and I went on his porch, and I went because I went into the enclosed porch, and like I left. I grabbed some things and I left. Like I went back to my car, and so they because the porch was enclosed, they charged me with burglary.
Right. Dude, you know what's not funny, but what's interesting about that is, this guy, he survived. He's always survived, right?
Yeah.
And I think he buys and sells, and was dealing with the stolen properties. I remember him telling me that he used to deal with stolen property. They bring him some stolen shit, he buy it, resell it, and all that stuff. And being that he was out of his conscious, he wasn't really conscious, but he went into, it sounds to me, man, he went into like limp mode, right? Saw the shit. He probably said, because they pulled a vacuum out of his car. I don't know why he pulled a fucking vacuum out of it.
Yeah, it was a vacuum that belonged to
a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. What the hell he's gonna do with he ain't got no carpet at home.
What
I know that's for
what
damn
kind
sure.
of vacuum?
Yeah, one of those turbo kind. But so all I'm thinking is that in the back of his mind, man, he's like, hey, I'm gonna take this and resell it or whatever. But he had no need for even that, because he was making money. That's what I didn't ever understood. But then as you read more, you hear more things in the meetings, you're like, oh, subconsciously, man, whenever we lose conscience, that's that blackout they talk about. You know what I mean? That we go and do you automatically, it's like sleepwalking, right? Yeah. I think Richard Pryor said it best one time, is blacking out, or it was Robin Williams. Blacking out is what sleepwalking with something. I don't remember. It's funny as shit. So the comps, and then they take you in, right? And then they take you in, and what happened after that? I don't remember.
They took me in. I made it all the way to. I think I made it to Missouri County.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amy bonded me up.
Mm-hmm.
And she helped me with that. I think at that time, that's when I got kicked out of the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think me and you, I think I'd try to. I don't know. I can't get the story straight because sometimes things run together. But I think that's when I started doing the mobile mechanic thing.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, because I at that time, I said, well, this guy, he does have, he's got a girlfriend. He's got enough things to make a move on his own. You know what I mean? And I decided that that was the first chance he had. This was the second time, and it was a serious offense because it was a neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a neighbor that and I said, and other factors that I won't speak about, but I thought at that time it was go ahead time to really start showing them some hard love, man. Some hard letting them know that there was some consequences, you know what I mean? And I did, and it was very hurtful for me to have to let him go, but I did, and he had also had to move out of my dad's apartment. For whatever reason that had to happen, and it did, and he went, and then he started doing mobile mechanic work. How did that work out for you?
Well, I was actually I went and I stayed at that girl's place, and then the next by the weekend I had a job at a shop right there on Highway 3, and also I was working there. They hired me on the spot. And you know
what? I'm gonna tell you something too. This little motherfucker. You know what he did? I'm gonna tell you what he did. He was putting his mobile mechanic business. Don't pay shop prices. Give me a call. I was like, that little son of a gun, man. I taught him what he knows, man, and now he's trying to take. He was putting that on there. He's like, don't pay those high prices in the shops, man.
Hey, he's a businessman.
Yeah. You remember that?
I got you.
You remember that, right? I remember I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, this is motherfucker. Don't pay those high shop prices.
You were watching, weren't you?
Of course I was. Yeah, go ahead. And then?
Yeah. And I was doing it. I was still using, saying I wasn't. But So I went from that girl's house to, and then I got an apartment over there in Houston. And that's what I was doing. I was working there at that shop and doing that mobile thing. And I got let go from I had got let go, like they had got real slow. And they had a big mechanic shop, and then next to it a body shop. And so they needed a mechanic at the body shop, so I would go over there. And so I went over there and I was a mechanic over there. And then they got, like, they time has got slow, so they let me go. And I think that's when I came back. I came back. That's to Isla. That's when I had came back, and with intentions of
Yeah, I asked you if you were clean, and you lied to me, huh?
no, I think I was trying to. I was trying, man, and I really was, and so I tried. That's when I went to go live with Gary. Yeah, the mechanic. And so I went over there, and that's when I had got that van from Chef Gary. And yeah, so I was trying at that time. I still had the cars. Had the cars parked at Amy's house, but I was trying. I was trying hard to be clean. I was doing it, but then I would mess up. I would start using, and I went from Gary had moved. Me and Gary, we party. Like that's whenever, because at that time, whenever I was working at that other shop, and I started working at and I came back, me and Amy had split up. So and I took it pretty hard. I took it hard. I took it real hard. And like I said, it wasn't just a breakup from her, it was a breakup from the girls. So I did, so I was using, me and Gary, we partied pretty hard, and
When you say partying hard, what did you mean by that? What were you using?
we drank a lot, and we did a lot of cocaine, like a lot, like that's, and like he couldn't. No, I'm not gonna say it.
No, tell it.
No, like well, he was, like I was like, I wanted to use. I'm an addict, I'm like, come on, man, and and he was like the kind of person he was is he would take an upper, but like he would go down. Like he was like, he's the kind of person that's supposed to be on 88 demons.
Oh yeah.
It's weird, but me, I would, and I wanted more and more and more, and and I drank a lot, and this is where I started. This is where I started getting. So I was drinking a lot, okay, and using a lot of cocaine. What's his name had got another place. That's when I went to go stay with Eloy. Okay. I never paid Gary no rent. Like I might have gave him like rent one time, but he let me slide in. That's when I started. I stayed with Eloy, and this whole time, man, I'm miserable with myself in my head. And so I'm trying to, I'm trying, but I can never get it.
But in which way were you trying? Well, I can't see you trying. What do you mean?
I didn't want to use, but I was using.
Okay, but when you say you were trying, what does that mean? You were trying? You were trying to use, or you're trying to stay clean?
Well, maybe not trying. I
He
wasn't
wanted
trying.
to stay clean.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted to, but I know my intentions was but you know, I would keep doing it.
Well, explain to me. Explain to the audience. I mean, if they don't know about addiction, this is the whole thing about the show is, if somebody's watching, we have a lot of addicts that are watching. They know exactly what you're talking about. Explain to the ones that don't know what you're talking about, what you mean by that you were trying. In which way were you trying? And I'm not trying to grill you, right? I want to get some information out there to some of our fellow non-addicts, right? That don't understand in which way you were trying. What is it that you were feeling? What is it? In which way were you trying, and how were you being pushed back? Did you feel like this, like God? And I hate to bring God into it, but there's this entity, this power, this force. You would quit using, but something inside would call your name. Like me, for instance, man, dude, just like in the meeting, they say, look, I would stop. I just couldn't stay stopped. You know what I mean? I would stop for a day, maybe two. Dude, but I'm going to tell you something. By the third day, man, I was back to the races, man. And I knew it. It was always like by the third day. And let me tell you something else for me, man. On the weekends, forget about it, man. It seems like on Friday nights, man. For me, I don't know about y'all, but Friday nights around 5 o'clock, Friday evenings after work, it's like this energy is in the air. You know, it's like I hear, you know what? Fridays at 5 o'clock, way back then. If you ever remember going into a bar, you hear all that clutter, all the people talking, and I would hear that. And I'm like, I could imagine it in my mind, the chicks at the bar, the pool tables, and the beers rattling and shit. Man, dude, I would start hearing that and like this energy in the air, man. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go have me a drink, and it's gonna be, but every single fucking time, man, it would turn to shit. Yeah. Every time. The next morning, I either woke up thrown up on myself. I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all have had great experiences, man. But either I offended someone, one of my people that I love, one of my family members. I would offend them. I always woke up with this, and that was with alcohol, right? I always woke up with this feeling of regret, man. That was with alcohol. With cocaine and crack, I would wake up with this. Well, I wouldn't wake up because I would stay up, but I wouldn't wake up. But I was like, man, the next day, dude, I wasn't supposed to spend this money. I'd wake up with no money. And then not just that, with some of my shit missing from inside that I would sell or pawn to the dope dealer. You know what I mean? My guitars. You know what I mean? Even to the point, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but if y'all can relate, man, the one time, man, I took my daughter's gold necklaces and I gave them to the dope. I mean, $200-$300 at that time, $600-$700 necklaces for a $50 rock, man. You know what I mean? Just because I was jonesing, man, and I would give it to him, and that's the kind of addict I was, man. I don't know about y'all. Maybe you had different experiences than me. Tell me about something like that, Ernesto, that you were experiencing. Okay, just so our audience would understand. You know what I mean? Did you ever sell anything? Did you ever do anything degrading? And you don't have to get into detail. You know what I mean? But tell our audience, if somebody's out there that has experienced, these feelings of regret, of shame, because we all deal with a lot of shame. You know what I mean? A lot of shame from our family members and that we've let people down. We tell people that we're going to do something, we don't do it. That's something that we've learned in the program, was that one of the main things for me is to keep our word, man. Yeah. Because as addicts and alcoholics, which is supposed to be the same thing, there's a lot of people that the one thing that we do, man, is that we isolate. I remember around Christmas time, man. Around Christmas time, we would get together. We would get together to exchange gifts and stuff like that. Dude, I kept my family, my daughters and my sons, I kept them at home. We wouldn't show up to the Christmas, New Year's Eve, and all that. They came and dropped off gifts at our front door, and I told them, I said, "Don't answer the fucking door. Don't answer the door, man," because I didn't want them to see me. You know what I mean? So that's what I experienced. You know what I mean? So what did you experience as far as that kind of stuff, Ernesto?
Yeah, let me
go for it.
Fixing to get into
Break it down, Holmes.
China.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was I went to stay with Eloy, and then I eventually one night I wanted to get more stuff, and,
Mhm.
and I didn't know anybody else except for in Pasadena.
Mhm.
Nobody else was up.
Mhm.
Seems like everything closes at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, in the morning or or at night.
Even fast food.
Yeah,
it does though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hit up homeboy in Pasadena, and I went over there, and and did that. I went a few times, and then one day, man, I went over there and I kind of hanged out, and then I hear try this,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried. I didn't know what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and I was at the point where I kind of didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were saying, I was miserable.
Mhm.
So I was just like, I wanted to stop, but I hated myself, and I didn't like my, things I've done. So I didn't care. So I couldn't stop using. And
Is that self-destructive behavior that they talk about in the meetings? You know what I mean? That we're just like doing whatever to self-destruct. We're kind of intentionally hurting ourselves because maybe some of that pain or some of this regret and all that kind of shit that we've got going on. With that, is that what they're talking about? Is that what you're talking about right now?
yes,
And do you mind when you said try this? Do you want to keep that down? Or do you want to tell us what it was that you tried?
I know that's yes.
Don't share anything you don't want to share. Don't feel pressured to share anything that's for you. I share what I want to share, and but if you're not comfortable sharing, you don't have to. Okay, I'm asking the questions, and you can anytime say anything you don't want to say, you keep it to yourself.
Well, if anybody wants to know, we'll talk.
Right on, right on. Okay, so keep going. I understand.
I tried.
Take your time.
It wasn't cocaine. It was a harder drug.
Okay, you escalated to the next level.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Then we'll leave it at that. Sure.
It was a
Okay.
hard drug.
Now cocaine's pretty fucking hard. I don't know what you.
It was a harder.
Yeah, it's the next step, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
So and I liked it because that's the result I wanted from doing cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting,
This drug.
no feeling.
This feeling.
Mm.
That's the result I wanted.
Mm.
So I liked it, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that again. And so I didn't do it for a couple weeks, and then another weekend I was like, hey, let's go get some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who'd you say that to?
to somebody that I was hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went, and that weekend I was using it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that next Monday morning, I came into work and you told me to get my tools and go.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard for me.
So let's back up a little
because
bit.
you knew.
Yes, he's seen it all over my.
Oh,
What happened? See, look, I'm going to tell you guys, and the people that know me, I've been clean. We're going to stop right there. We're going to pick this back up in a second, but I've been clean a little over a decade, right?
yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, man, there's a lot of, I don't know. And if I don't know if anybody can relate, that any of my addict friends out there that've got a little bit of time together, but there's certain things in my mind that are blank. You know what I mean? Things that have hurt me, things that I've heard, that I've felt deep hurt for, and things that I've said and done that I don't remember.
I'm the same way.
I don't remember. And this being one of them, because this last time, not this time, but this last time before Ernesto almost lost his life, I felt a lot of regret. I felt a lot of I really this time I shouldn't have given up on him. You know what I mean? I didn't give up on him. It was a lesson that I was putting in. But anyway, I don't remember how it went down. I don't remember if somebody had told me or I don't remember how I found out, but I found out that he was doing this other. He had escalated to this other,
Mhm.
and I think And I think I could be wrong on this story, but I think he was falling asleep
At work?
at work. I think he was falling asleep, and I saw him. I saw him. I started to see the telltale signs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, telltale signs about things, and I think I saw him falling asleep at work, and then you know, I had finally gotten solid information that he had escalated to a different level.
I came in and worked Monday, and I had been up all weekend. I knew it. You know, I couldn't even like look in, you know, at you. And when you said you gotta go, I already know like what's up.
You already knew.
Yeah, so you know that was hard. That was really that you know hurt me because I you know that I had come from nothing. I had built my life, and that was you know that hurt. Not only was I hurting, but that hurt a lot. You know, so that was for me. That was it. That was you know that was like all right, you know. And then that's you know, and I'm not sure if I want to share openly about what happened with Eloy.
You don't have to. All you could do is, I mean, I know the story, so
But that's when you know I put all my tools in the van. I was staying with Eloy, so I went to go get my stuff, and I actually you know. Like I was like calling people, and there's some people that I need to you know talk to that I was calling them and asking them for you know say hey I need help with I was just asking for money. It was like that like just instantly I started doing like finding ways and means like in a heartbeat like it just like cut off, and that was it for me.
When you say that was it for you, what does that mean? Yeah, that was it for you. What was it for you?
I was battling this whole time, like I was using, but whenever I lost my job at the shop, that was a switch for me. Like
You said this is it.
Yeah,
this is the final straw.
He's like, well, this was like, yeah, I know,
You knew it.
I know what I need to do. I know.
And what is it that you need to do?
Not what I need to do, but I know how to. I know the streets. And
So did you when you lost the shop, when you lost this last time that time when you lost your job at the shop, that was different from any other time.
Yes.
That was different. Why was it different?
Because of the drug I was doing.
Because of the drug. Yeah. And so did you, when you said this is it, man, and you knew, did you have a feeling that this drug had a hold on you?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah, I knew it.
Did you ever think to yourself, man, when did you think to yourself, damn, that son of a bitch, man, why did he ever tell me try this?
Yeah. You know, I've actually I've gotten into it with that guy.
Uh-huh.
You know, trying to blame
him. Yeah.
Me and him, you know,
okay, this is a magic right here, bro. Raul, this is magic right here. What he's saying right now, this is magic, man. I don't know if it's magic or what. This is the key. What he just said, man, is like I was blaming this guy for the decision I made, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that, Ernesto. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of hate towards him.
Towards him?
Yeah,
because he took you in a headlock and he shoved it down your throat, right? No, I mean, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. What I'm saying is you made this choice, right? At the end of the day, Raul, we make choices, man. Here's the difference. Today, him and I are clean, or all three of us, we're clean. At the time when he made that choice to level up to the next level, not leveling up, but leveling down to the next level, right? He was under the influence, and that thing had the cocaine had a grip on him. So it's not excusable, but it is in a sort of way, right? Versus today, with what he has experienced, what you have experienced, the freedom that you have experienced, Raul, and I'm sorry to put you and you too, you've experienced some wonderful, we all have. We have choices.
Yeah.
We have choices, ladies and gentlemen. Today, if somebody comes and tells me, "Hey, man, I've got this thing. Hey, man, I've got this radio that I want to know, man. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit, man. I don't want no amount of bullshit in my life. You know what I mean, right? Today, and I'm gonna skip over this. And hold your story right where you at. When he came back this last time. This one here came in and he was selling fucking radios and selling all kinds of bullshit here when he came to live with me again.
Wait.
The fifth time, or what is it, third or fourth time?
It was all hot.
I don't know if it was up, but it looked hot. Look, I'm gonna tell you, when he got out. We're skipping this big part, man, that we need to get to. And very important. This is what the basis. Well, this part is the part that makes it's gonna. In my eyes, this is the part that's going to save Ernesto. The death of him is what saves him, and that's what saves a lot of us, right? But damn, I just lost my train of thought, man. I was skipping over to some. When he came to live here, when he got out of he got out through the hospital, and he got out through. He went to jail, and then he had to go through another jail.
You're jumping it.
I know, but I'm gonna let him tell the story. But I want about he was selling some stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Radios and speakers and all that shit. And I said, hey man, no, get rid of this shit, man. You ain't selling this here. See, he's in the back of his brain right here. He's got survival mode, man, a lot of us do, and that's his survival. That's what he goes to. Like when he did whenever you lost your job at the other shop, man, that you went and calling people and da. Anyway, go ahead. Back to where you were. Where was he?
How much time we have time?
Nah, well, shit. You're at it, man. You're gonna have to do a part 3,
dude. You have to come to part 3, man. Yeah. Look, lead us to just 2 minutes of what you were saying, and then you okay coming back to part 3? Sure. We have to finish it, man, but we can't finish it tonight. So, dude, we went over an hour. So, tell us where were you? Do you remember where he was at?
Right before.
Yeah.
Shit. No, I don't.
So,
I was that's when I had flipped the switch, and I didn't have nowhere to go.
Right.
But I was, you
got mad at the guy.
I left. Oh yeah. That was after the thing that happened between me and Eloy. I had went, and I was still in Pearland for about a week, selling all my tools.
Yeah, I remember you pawned them. You pawned a lot of them.
All of them.
You did?
Sold some, pawned some.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, that's what, for a week straight. I didn't go to sleep for a week straight. On the,
You didn't go to sleep straight because of the drug that you were on.
Because of the drug I was on.
So it gradually it's taken a toll on your life. It's got a grip on you. Now it has you in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Right. And you're trying to breathe. So right there, man. Listen, man. It's been over an hour, and Ernesto's kind enough to come back next week and we do part 3. So, and I know, and I'm going to tell you something, man. I really appreciate it. I will be in here tonight. We're going to stop the story here that way. And next week, we're really going to, I knew it was going to be a part 3.
Yeah,
man,
you called
this guy,
it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you did.
And this is really going to be the last part. The third part is going to be that I think we're going to get to the nitty gritty, man. But, this is going to be the toughest part coming up, because I know this guy's story, at least from when that time up to today. And there's going to be nothing but, there's going to be a little bit of sad part in the beginning of the next story, but then it's going to be nothing but wonderful things after that, where the true recovery is going to be coming up next, man. Next week.
How do you feel right now, man? Sharing your story. How does it feel? Like when this is done?
Man, bro, I'm me, I'm not really an open person.
Right.
So it's kind of like me. I'm really stepping out, and like when I first came back out, and I was like, I think me and you have a conversation. I was like, man, I don't want to tell nobody I done like this or that. But somebody here recently or a few months ago, they said, hey man, you need to share your story. People need to know, because there is hope. My life is compared to my bottom, and I want to share this that somebody shared in the meeting. about a week ago. She said, "Why do I stay clean today? Because I remember my bottle." And that was like, like, yeah, duh. But for me at that time in my head, that was like, we forget.
Yeah.
I forget that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get to where I'm thinking, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing this and that, and I got this. I'm so far from where I was. But then, man, I'm really not. Because just like that, I can lose it all again.
Hey, we're just one hit away, man, from the total disaster. Like Eugene Mason used to say, man, is I'm a fast learner, but I'm a faster forgetter.
I like
we forget, man,
Yeah.
where we come from. We forget
It's
the
true,
pain
man.
and what we've gone through whenever we start getting comfortable. And that's that word complacency. Complacency, man. And with that, man, let's wrap it up, and then we're gonna bring Ernesto back next week to talk about the recovery, that where he actually recovers his life. We've here for the last two episodes, man, and we've seen that that roller coaster up and down of emotions, man, and of disappointment and happiness and sadness and regrets and all. We've heard all that, all the pain and that Ernesto has experienced. Now, man, next week we're gonna start off with a little bit of pain, and then we're gonna see the bright, man. We're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, man. And this time, that light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen, isn't a freight train. It's not a freight train this time, man. It's a beautiful light.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations from all of us, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, one day at a time, man.
Oh man, let's see. I'm so let's see. Let's this is really inspiring. Gabriel Monocala, is that how you say his last name? Is he a friend of yours, Ernesto, or a friend of yours, Raul?
No, I don't know.
Okay. It says, I'm celebrating 181 days of sobriety with y'all. Thanks, man. All right, man. Congratulations. Let's read a couple of these before we leave. Evie, let's see. Evie joined us tonight. Jen Gonzalez, she joined us tonight too. Thank you guys for joining us, man. Please share. Caitlin, your sister, she joined us tonight. She joined us. She's I tell you what, man, and ask her tonight when you get home. We want if we can kind of talk a little bit about her. We'll respect her if she doesn't, and we get it. But we would love to live her hand.
I'm very proud of her.
Man, I'm very proud of her too. She has come a long way, Caitlin, man. You should bring her. Ask her if she'll come in with you next week. Ask her, man. We would love to hear her story, man. She's got a wonderful story too. Absolutely. Amber joined us earlier tonight, a little bit at right after 7 o'clock, 7:12. She joined. She's one of the first ones that joined in. Tina, always Tina Ramirez. Tina Ramirez, I'm gonna tell you guys something a little bit about her. We go way back.
Yeah.
We go way back, man. She has seen me through my struggles, and
that's Heather's mom, right?
That's Heather's mom. Okay. Yeah. Her and I have we have a long story. Tina, she's an amazing person, and her daughter is Heather. She's a great person. Of course, Eloy joined us tonight too. What other people joined us tonight, Raul?
Man, Jen, Amber. There's a lot of people, but a lot of people didn't comment. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So good, man. So next week we're gonna go ahead and shut this down, man. And we went over almost 10 minutes. But like I said, next week, man, y'all tune in. It's gonna be the ending part of this story, man. And
not the ending.
Not the ending, because it's not ending yet, man. It's just the continuation.
Man, still going.
The continuation, man. And again, I want to thank our special guest, Ernesto, for joining us tonight, man, and sharing his story up to today. And Raul, as always, my co-host, man. I appreciate your time, man. Coming and joining us. It's an honor and an awesome.
No, it's an honor to be here, man. But, hey, your story is impacting someone's life. You know that, right? Your story, somebody's listening, you say, oh shit, it's possible.
And yeah. Oh no, absolutely, man. Dude, your testimony. People used to say testimony, we have to, man. We have to let people know there's hope, man. To come back from the stuff. There's people out there, they give up. They give up, man. You know why? Because they don't think there's anybody out there that like them. Yeah. You know what I mean? They think that, man, I'm all messed up, man. Nobody, and they isolate, and they end up taking their life, man.
I thought that, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something before we go.
Break it down.
Ricky, I graduated from that veterans court a few months back, man. And you were there in the crowd. Let me tell you, man, it gives me chills saying it, because I got an email yesterday, and they want me to come and speak at a graduation.
No shit.
To be the guest speaker at the graduation.
Oh, man, look
and,
at that,
and I'm like,
man.
you know, it's crazy
God,
because
man.
the way we, you know, where we were
Uh-huh.
and where we're at now.
You're an alumni, man.
It's insane. It's insane. Like
It's
I've seen
crazy.
the people speak before me, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, man,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's an honor.
Dude, that's
Awesome.
amazing,
Yeah, man,
man.
it's an honor.
That's amazing.
I'm excited about it, man. But
That's
with
badass,
that,
man.
brother,
Good deal,
man, I can't wait till next week. We'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.
Be sure to like and share, subscribe, follow us on YouTube or the Facebook.
Hey, and one damn thing is you don't be walking in like a rock star, man. That's my job, dog. You be coming in 3 minutes before.
It
Yeah.
was two minutes.
Yeah,
2
a minute.
minutes.
He just comes
walks
in.
the door.
He comes in, slaps his things on, and puts on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's got it all written down, man, somewhere, man. Hey, that's my job.
Yeah, I can only have one diva,
That's
bro.
right. That's right, man. But anyway, with that said, man, thank you guys, everybody, again for joining us. Please share the in all the platforms.
Please do.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Ricky.
All right.
As always, man.
Hey, the lie is dead,
The
Raul.
lie is dead.
Why, Ernesto? We do
recover.
recover, man. Absolutely.